President Soga Kingdom, His Royal Highness William Wilberforce Gabula Nabdiopi IV. In a meeting that took place at State House Entebbe, the President and the Chabazinga discussed key issues concerning the development of Soga Kingdom. The head of state tasked the Minister for the Presidency, Honorable Mili Babide Babalanda, to liaise with the Attorney General, Honorable Kiriowa Chiwanuka, on specific matters related to the kingdom and draft a white paper that shall be discussed by the Cabinet. Vice President Major retired Jessica Alupo has revealed that government through the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development has plans to redevelop slums into informal settlements and well-designed planned human settlements. The slums to be redeveloped are located in Arua, Gulu, Jinja, Mbale, Mbarara and Kabale districts. The project will cost over 245 trillion shillings. The overall objective of the project is to enhance the urban environment and social economic development through the adoption of mixed development approaches and development partnerships. Take a watch.
Speaking during the second joint review meeting for the Sustainable Urbanization and Housing Program 2022 at Spiki Resort Munyonyo, Kampala, Vice President Major retired Jessica Alupo said that in order for the country to develop, there is need for proper physical planning. She noted that with Uganda's increasing urban population and urbanization, it is anticipated that Uganda will be among the most urbanized countries in Africa by 2050.
Based on this year's program review theme, which is leveraging urbanization and housing for socio-economic transformation, I would like to implore all of you stakeholders to recognize the fact that all Ugandans deserve decent housing. In urban areas, electricity, roads, railways, etc. and other service delivery infrastructure that lower the cost of doing business are key drivers in industrialization and job creation. A clear manifestation that decent housing and sustainable urbanization has a very direct impact to socio-economic transformation of our country. I am therefore challenging the program working group to ensure that whatever is highlighted in the said national document is implemented expeditiously. And with these few remarks, I take this singular honor and privilege to officially declare this one-day joint review meeting 2022 for the Sustainable Urbanization and Housing Program officially opened. And I have said all this for God and my country.
Thank you so much.
Lands Minister Judith Nabakova said that there is a large shortage of approximately 2.4 million housing units in the country. She attributed the shortage to overcrowding, substandard structures, rapid population growth, high cost of building materials, high interest rates, and stringent terms that do not support mortgage financing.
During the high-level consultative NDP3 mid-term review meeting organized by the National Planning Authority in July 2022, a case was made for the transfer of land management sub-program from natural resources to sustainable urbanization and housing program to attract and utilize synergies therein. In the implementation of the PDA, land, housing, and urbanization are key resources.
The outcomes from the review shall lead to the implementation of policies, laws, regulations, and interventions that will promote the transformation of our country to a middle-income society. Etole Ed Archangel, UBC News.
Now, Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Tayebwa has appealed to the European Union members of Parliament to consider revisiting their earlier decision of stopping Uganda and Tanzania from building the East African crude oil pipeline running from Albertine Graben in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania, citing environmental disasters. Tayebwa was speaking at the ongoing ACP-EU Joint Parliamentary Assembly in Maputo City, Mozambique, on issues of climate change. We have more in this story.
Tayebwa, who is leading Uganda's delegation to Maputo City in Mozambique, told the Pan-African Parliament Assembly that the EU resolution on the East African crude oil pipeline was a unilateral decision taken without consulting the governments of Uganda and Tanzania. He noted that the decision was premised on wrong facts.
President, we are doing badly as a country. The largest emissions of gas we are having as a country is from deforestation and charcoal. And we are saying allow us to develop our gas sector, oil and gas sector, so that we can finance our renewable energy project. We are going to do it sustainably and responsibly.
Our coal and our oil has less carbon. Now today Germany is opening its doors again for coal. They're going to damage more environment, and the recipient of this damage is ACP countries. It is very surprising, Chair, to see that the motions which our partners are bringing to this August House are always policing our countries and not policing themselves.
Tayebwa told the Assembly that Uganda will develop the project responsibly with all scientific measures taken into consideration to ensure that the project does not affect the environment.
The studies show most of the oil projects, they release 80 kilograms of oxygen or of carbon dioxide per barrel. The one of Uganda is going to be releasing only 10 kilos of carbon dioxide per barrel. So we are saying support us so that we as a country that is developing, you don't put us on the same yardstick as countries that are already doing well.
The EACOP project seeks to make Uganda self-reliant. At the moment, Uganda imports 16% of fuel. However, once the EACOP project starts running, the extracted gas, once processed, will reduce on the use of wood fuel, hence stopping deforestation. In their submission, the EU Parliament pledged to support the green economy, which promotes environmental protection. There is a corporate due diligence on the project to mitigate human and environmental effects.
Now, in a new fossil fuel project, in a time where we really have to cut every emission possible, is just crazy. And I will tell you, this will not create energy sovereignty. The only way is to invest in renewable, decentralized energies. This will create energy sovereignty. But the good part of the message is, you do have all the resources it needs for this green transition. You do have all the minerals. We have to invest in local production of renewable energies. A resolution that clearly stated that we should phase out as soon as possible from every fossil fuel energies, but there was an amendment from Tanzania and Barbados that killed this and watered it down completely.
Tayebwa also spoke strongly on the unfairness to advocate for non-exploitation of the natural resources in ACP countries for their advancement.
Now, government will not renew Eskom Uganda Limited and Umeme's concession when they come to their natural end in 2023 and 2025 respectively. Now, this has been disclosed by the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development. The two energy sector affiliated companies had a 20-year service contract with the government of Uganda. Dennis Sigoa reports.
According to Akasayo Polot, the State Minister for Energy, government agencies, Uganda Electricity Generation Company and Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited are set to take over the management of the key power projects.
Next one, which is ending, is Eskom concession, which has been running for the last 20 years. It's coming to an end in March 2023, and we have prepared those plans Kira and Nalubale to be run by our own Uganda Electricity Generation Company. The next one, which is coming to an end in 2025, is Umeme concession. Cabinet has already made a decision that we allow that concession to come to its final end in 2025, and we are preparing UEDCL to take over the distribution of electricity in the country.
The revelation at the Power Forum 2022 in Kampala follows protracted discussions by the utility company and government on concession extension, on whether the public entities appointed to manage the 180 megawatts Nalubale power station in Jinja and Umeme have technical and human resource capacity. The electricity regulator had this to say.
I really don't see that as a problem, because these concessions are run by Ugandans. When you go to Umeme, right from the MD up to the messenger or the cleaner, they are all Ugandans, and this is in line with the government program of building local content. So really I want to assure the public that we have been building capacity, and whichever decision that government makes, even as we speak now, the sector is run by majority Ugandans. So there is no fear that we shall have a challenge with power supply reliability.
In its 17 years of operation, Umeme, a Uganda Securities Exchange listed company, prides in building a reliable electricity infrastructure which continues to play a major role in fostering Uganda's social and economic growth.
Many times people think that when power goes, oh, Umeme, you guys, you're not interested in delivering power. Let me tell you one thing. There is no company in this country that is more interested in delivering reliable power than Umeme. Why? Because the moment your power goes, we're losing money.
Well, at the time Umeme started in 2005, there were about 250,000 customers on the network, on the national grid. Yeah, so a lot of work has gone in there to ensure that we bring as many people to the grid. So we're talking about between 1.6 and we are moving towards 1.7.
Umeme Limited is the largest energy distributor in Uganda, distributing about 97% of all electricity, whereas Eskom Uganda Limited, that runs Nalubale Power Dam, is a subsidiary company of Eskom Enterprises, state-owned company limited of South Africa. Dennis Igowa and Juman Samba for UBC News.
Traffic police will next Monday mount a crackdown operation targeting Boda motor riders without crash helmets, reflector jackets, driving permits, and those without driving mirrors. The much anticipated crackdown operation follows a series of leaked police CCTV video footage showing how over 200 people are often trapped in nasty Boda accidents, with some dying on the spot and many getting hospitalized.
To our notes that motorcycles have become a menace on the roads. Every time crashes happen on the roads, if there are 5 accidents on the road, 4 of them involve motorcycles. A lot of people are dying on the roads with these motorcycles. So as Traffic Directorate comes up to launch the festive season operations, we are going to start with motorcycles on Monday, 7th November 2022. We are going to target these motorcycle riders mostly on the roads. What are we looking at? Those operating without wearing reflective jackets. In the regulation of the motorcycles, that is 2016, every person riding a motorcycle is supposed to wear a reflective jacket on the road at all times. So we are going to target all those ones that are not wearing reflective jackets. So effective Monday, all motorcycle riders on the road should be wearing reflective jackets. They're also going to target those ones operating without crash helmets. It has come to our attention that people don't want to wear crash helmets. They ride motorcycles without crash helmets. They keep them on their motorcycles. When they see the traffic officers, they wear them. So we are coming up with an operation so that every motorcycle rider is wearing a crash helmet on the road. Then we are also going to target those motorcycle riders that carry more than 1 passenger on the motorcycle. Because according to the regulation 2016 of the motorcycles, every motorcycle rider and the passenger is supposed to wear a crash helmet, a reflective jacket, It's supposed to operate with a PSV and insurance of third party. It's supposed to be having that jacket on throughout the day. So whoever doesn't have a reflective jacket, whoever is carrying more than one person on the motorcycle, that's called period riding. We are going to target them and we are going to arrest them. So by law, you're supposed to carry one person on the motorcycle.
Good initiative there, but of course at times you find that even a single motorbike is carrying more than 4 passengers. We do hope that that crackdown will bear some good results. Now, members of Parliament who sit on the Committee of National Economy have once again tasked the Minister of State in charge of the general duties at the Ministry of Finance, Henry Musasizi, to explain in detail the accountability of 1.7 trillion shillings loan request from government. The loan, according to the Minister, is meant to finance the development and infrastructure budget for the financial year 2022-2023. But when asked for the documents explaining this in detail, the Minister did not have any. Take a watch.
The shillings 48.1 trillion current budget, Parliament approved external borrowing of shillings 2.5 trillion. Now, government is seeking urgent approval of shillings 1.7 trillion loan to finance the country's development and infrastructure budget for the current financial year by Parliament.
Euros 455.03 from Standard Chartered Bank to finance various activities in the financial year 2022-2023 budget. I beg to read it.
However, legislators on Parliament's Committee on National Economy tasked the State Minister for Finance in charge of general duties, Henry Musasizi, to give a distinctive accountability of the loan request, and the Minister failed to do so.
Can't continue bubbling around on a roundabout. We are saying, can you please give us a schedule? Like the President even did intimate, that kindly come out with the most solid, clear-cut areas that you are going to fund.
I think this is where now we are calling upon you to come down with this 1.7 trillion on development and infrastructure that you want to do. Try to bring them out. Otherwise, this is now where we are going to pull ropes and people think we are up to something.
This kind of borrowing, we are saying we'll support the expenditure side, the development side of the budget, which we approved. We approved the roads, we approved the schools, we approved name of them.
Minister Musasizi first tabled the request before the committee on 31st October. However, MPs on the committee were not satisfied by his explanation on the accountability. The loan request, if approved, Standard Chartered Bank will be the agent for 2 financial institutions that will actually supply the cash, making MPs wonder why.
A syndicated loan where Standard Chartered Bank is a broker, okay? And is going to get a commission of $46 million US. 2, we have not seen the conditionalities of the actual lenders of money to Standard Chartered Bank. And why are these smart officers going through a broker when the funders are different? Why do you go through Standard Chartered Bank?
Out of the shillings 48.1 trillion budget for this financial year 2022-2023, the government only released shillings 10.25 trillion in the first quarter and shillings 7.3 trillion in the second quarter. Shamim Naiga and Gloria Gutabinji, Parliament.
Now, the Parliamentary Committee on Health, chaired by Dr. Charles Ayume, has urged the Ministry of Health to reprimand local constructors or put it to task to finish their infrastructure works at Mulago National Referral Hospital so that the public gets value for money. Dr. Ayume disclosed this at Parliament during an interface between the committee and top management of Mulago National Referral Hospital to clear some concerns about the hospital.
How can the National Referral not have water for 2 days? I mean, sanitation and health go hand in hand.
The Parliamentary Committee on Health has interfaced with the top management of Mulago National Referral Hospital at Parliament to clear some of the queries and state the challenges the hospital is facing. The committee members learned that the infrastructure works by Rocco Constructor at the referral hospital has stalled for some time and demand Rocco to be reprimanded. It should be noted that the contract of Rocco expired on 30th December 2021, but the contractor is still on site.
Some of this equipment is about 1 billion shillings, 3 billion shillings. So they have been redundant for 2 years, meaning the taxpayer who pays taxes to get a service is not getting the service, simply because of a contractor who was given money under a loan who is not able to finish their work on time, and the work is not substandard. So we are asking Rocco, and we're asking the Ministry of Health to please come in and prevail.
Even if you complain how, there is no one who can reprimand Rocco. In fact, the last time we reprimanded Rocco, we gave them money. We said they should be stopped. Instead of being stopped, even money was added to Rocco. So to me, I see Rocco as if it is even beyond Mulago Hospital.
Invite Minister of Health because he's the one in charge of awarding tenders. So we want to ask them or interact with them so that we are able to know what gives them comfort to keep Rocco as a contractor to complete Mulago.
Deputy Executive Director, Mulago National Referral Hospital, Dr. Rosemary Byanyima, stated that the budget for specialized medicine still remains inadequate and calls for additional funding.
According to our budget, about 100 billion would be optimal. So according to what we are getting now, we still have a deficit of about 77%.
The Committee on Health is also looking at enhancing funding to feed patients at Mulago National Referral Hospital from 700 shillings per patient to 1,500 shillings per patient.
When you enter the hospital, besides the medicines, you also need nutritional supplements, you need good nourishment. So I think it's incumbent upon our health committee to see if we can increase it to maybe 1,500 shillings so that at least somebody can get some good food supplements during their stay in Mulago Hospital, or even 2,000 shillings.
Imagine a village who has been referred from Kambuga, has not prepared and has come to Mulago and is not going to be given food. Imagine a patient with cancer. Needs good nutrition, but is going to be fed on posho and beans every day. So this money is little, I agree with them, and the budget should be increased.
Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Now to matters pertaining to Ebola virus, and Minister for Health Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng recently visited Mubende new Ebola treatment unit to check the commencement of admissions at Mubende District Works Department yard, and has now opened up a new 42-bed Ebola treatment unit. Dr. Acheng also urged people in Mubende and Kasanda districts to follow the presidential directives in order to fight against the virus.
Action is not completely done because we still have the section of the intensive care unit not completed. We have one, which is a high dependency unit already complete, but the intensive care is not done. The beauty with this 42-bed facility is that relatives, friends can come and visit the patients. There are high-risk zones and there are what we call green zones, where the family members can come and interact with the patients with a 2-meter distance in between. Obviously, they can't shake hands because the patients will be inside their rooms. Each room is self-contained with its own bathroom and toilet. So the 32 health workers that have already been trained, they will be joined by 50 others tomorrow so that this unit can begin to function. What is extremely important in all this is risk communication. For the entire community in Mubende and Kasanda to know that Ebola can be prevented and it can be treated. But most important is to prevent. And if you get into contact with a sick person, know that when you get to the health facility early, you can be treated and you improve. Tracing in Mubende is 100%. When we talk about contact tracing, it means all the contacts that are listed are followed up physically. You don't make a phone call. You visit them at home. Even when they are in, they take the temperature, they tell you you're seeing the person. And if the person develops any signs and symptoms, you evacuate immediately. Contact tracing in Kasanda is at 82.5%. That is not good. We want it at 100%, meaning every contact has been followed up and we know their situation.
Still on matters pertaining to Ebola virus disease, the Ministry of Health has condemned politicizing Ebola disease in Uganda with intentions to water down the efforts to fight against the deadly disease. While addressing Parliament on the status of Ebola in the country, State Minister for Primary Health Care, Margaret Muhanga, cited some members of Parliament who have succeeded in fronting propaganda that the Ebola disease has been exaggerated by the Ministry of Health in order to fetch money from government and relevant stakeholders.
We need to name and shame these people who say that there is no Ebola, and these are people who are encouraging our people to go to witch doctors. I want
the extract has been laid on table, Right Honourable Speaker, by the Minister.
This is not a table, lay it on that table. Read the statement, read the name and lay on table. Read the name.
Right Honourable Speaker, the Minister of Health noted a quote from a talk show of a political leader called Abubakar Kawalia, Honourable Member for Rubaga North, on CBS 1st September 2022. Here,
Honourable Members,
he said, I lay on table.
We'll need evidence to that effect, and if it is true, we'll refer the member to a disciplinary committee.
The negative propaganda and politicizing of the epidemic makes communities undertake dangerous activities. For example, running away to other districts to avoid being isolated, and in so doing, they run away with the infection, spread it to their loved ones. No funding has been provided to support the ministry in the response. In spite of a clear response plan, and this is affecting the speed of the response. Partners usually inquire about government input before they declare their resources.
I also need clarification on the money. Right Honourable Speaker, when you look at how the money that first came was distributed, you will notice that despite the fact that the two districts are on lockdown, Mubende and Kasanda, but they gave out money to even those districts which are not under lockdown. Equally, how can Kasanda get the same amount of money like Kagadi, which is not under lockdown?
The reason why Mubende has to receive more money than Kasanda is one, because Mubende had strong health systems and a strong leadership. Mubende is currently handling all the issues of Kasanda, including treating the patients of Kasanda, mobilizing them and taking them to Kasanda. So definitely Mubende needs more resources. But as soon as we set up an ETU in Kasanda and we strengthen the system, then Kasanda will start handling its own issues. Item number 4, laying of papers.
Now, government has handed over bodies of 11 students who died in the inferno at Salama School for the Blind to their relatives after a DNA examination. Minister of State for Primary Education, Moriko Kaduchu, has extended government support of 5 million shillings to each family to cater for burial arrangements.
Relatives and staff of Salama School for the Blind have held a funeral service for the students who perished in a fire outbreak where scores were reported dead. A somber mood it was, as relatives viewed the caskets containing the remains of their children. Minister of State for Primary Education, Moriko Kaduchu, has handed over 11 bodies, ably identified and matched with relatives using DNA. Each casket was labeled with the names of the deceased and the relative.
My ministry is to give the support to ensure we bury our learners in a decent manner.
Government has supported every bereaved family with 5 million shillings to support in the burial arrangements.
We put in place emergency fund to restore normality, to restore all the academic environment at the school. And today I am right here, as I've been on Tuesday, to tell you mourners, all what we put in place last Tuesday has really come to completion.
Francis Kinubi, the head teacher of Salama School for the Blind, appreciated the support rendered to them during the trying moment.
Bebajja ne batandika okuddusa abaana mu ddwaliro n'okugenda ku poliisi okubuulira poliisi n'okuyita Herona Hospital okunona abaana baali bayidde. So abaana ba boda mwena we muli bazira.
Francis did not have kind words to those who might have allegedly set the school on fire. They now await police investigation reports over the matter.
Eyakikoze yenna alifa wunuuna era abaana be n'abazzukulu ekikolimo ky'abaana bano bafudde kiri bagoberera paka olunaku lwabwe olusembayo. Nkolimye.
Government has cleared the medication bills, provided basic school requirements, and given 1 million shillings to each of the 16 students who survived the inferno. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
Very somber mood indeed there. And with that story, we come to the end of the first segment of News Tonight here on UBC TV. We'll be coming back shortly with much more. Stay with us.
MTN joins the people of Keralur to celebrate the 12th coronation anniversary of the King of Keralur, His Royal Majesty Ubim Philip Raoni III in October. At MTN, we believe that we only succeed if the communities in which we operate succeed. And so, we're happy to join the people and well-wishers of the people of Keralur in promoting social cultural programs of the Ubim.
Walego Mugisa ni Ubimu ku Keralur.
Welcome to Friends Stadium. Everybody's ready. Wait a second, not everybody. Come on, dude, it's the FIFA World Cup. You're going to lose your seat, the ritual seat, the lucky one. Losing more than a seat, your team is going to lose. Where are you, dude? The match is about to start. Your friends won't hold out much longer. Excuse me. Finally, everything is in the right place. Hey, other hand. And do you have everything you need to believe?
That's right! The Voice is coming to a city near you. From the 21st of October to the 10th of November, you get a chance to showcase your talent. Prepare a 1-minute MP4 video of yourself singing and upload it to thevoice.africa to register. Make sure you have a valid Airtel number, and if you're shortlisted, you will be contacted to come in for the live auditions.
Well, don't just stand there, let's go!
Music your passion, Africa your stage. The Voice Africa, connected by Airtel.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You see, I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just say to register. Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
Not mixing your business money with your Kameza money. No, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
The Electricity Disputes Tribunal is a specialized quasi-judicial body established under Section 93 of the Electricity Act to handle all civil cause disputes relating, but not limited to, regulatory disputes, billing and licensing, tariffs, power generation, transmission and distribution issues, compensation resulting from activities in the electricity sector including civil wrongs and breaches of statutory and contractual duties and consumer-related complaints. The Electricity Disputes Tribunal is a special court and the first instance court that deals with electricity matters in the country. For more information, please contact the Electricity Disputes Tribunal at Amber House, Kampala Road, opposite Post Office, or call us on 041 232987.
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about to be baby. I am talking about these small dollars.
Run for babies in the MTN Kampala Marathon on Sunday, 20th November 2022. Dial star 165 star 77 hash or use the Momo app to register.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Welcome back, and a warm welcome to those of you who are just joining us. Uganda Red Cross Society has hosted the first national dialogue on anticipatory action mechanism. The agenda of the meeting is to define extreme events and foster quick reaction to save lives and build resilient communities. We have more in this story.
The inaugural dialogue that brought together various stakeholders under one roof intends to harmonize response mechanism in a complex and compound disasters.
It calls upon all the actors, government in the lead, and all of us, the actors, are playing our respective roles and mandates in support of this strategic direction.
We shall overcome these barriers by pooling our knowledge and expertise in this area. The government, Red Cross, FAO, WP, and several other partners present here today have valuable experience in implementing anticipatory responses that can help push this policy agenda forward.
The policymakers in attendance underscored the need for more resources and increased collaboration in order to detect disasters.
Because we are looking at when we have issues like, for example, of a hailstorm in a health center, it shouldn't be us running to do that. The Ministry of Health should be able to go and rehabilitate that facility. There is a bridge that has been broken. Ministry of Works should be able to go and do the rehabilitation. For us, we can do the early warning, mitigation, and also issues of response.
It's not only one sector that can actually deal with these issues of climate change and disasters generally when they occur. And government since moved to program-based finance budgeting, and with this program-based budgeting, the different ministries, departments, and agencies are supposed to budget for issues of climate change and generally disasters.
Anyakun says her ministry has come up with a disaster preparedness technology that is in line with anticipatory action mechanism.
We are trying to see how we can scale up on through Parliament through this very approval of this plan by Parliament and have it in the budget. Because if you continue depending on the contingency budget funds, it won't be possible because now other issues are coming in and also other priorities coming very fast. So you see issues of disasters go down. And yet it's really affecting the economics and also the livelihoods of the people of Uganda.
Exploring ways to use quantitative data to make crucial decisions for early actions was emphasized by stakeholders. Musa Kawiye, Kamulegaya Asaba compiled this report.
Now, many older persons unaware of their rights wrongly accept age discrimination as part of being old. Older persons are thus highly vulnerable to neglect, isolation and abuse. Lukia Isanga Nakadama, the third Deputy Prime Minister and Minister without portfolio, says the government of Uganda has applauded Leila Foundation Uganda for its support to the old age persons since July 2019. This was at Nakawa at an elderly medical care visit.
According to the Uganda Population and Housing Census of 2002, 4.6% Uganda's population were older persons, aged 60 years and above. Lukia Isanga Nakadama, third Deputy Prime Minister and Minister without portfolio, Government of Uganda has applauded Leila Foundation Uganda for her endless continuous support to the older persons, judges, since July in 2019 in the regions of Nakawa, Chevando, Luzira, Naguru, Kabalagala and Chukulu.
So I want to thank them so much for looking after the older persons. Alabiridde abakadde era njagala kumwebaza ayinza okuba nga yetambulira byenjogera naye mwe mubiwulira awulira.
The Minister in charge of Ethics and Integrity, Honorable Rose Lily Akelo, and Lady Justice Jane Frances Zabodo, the Director of Public Prosecutions, teamed up and supported over 300 Karamojongs currently suffering from hunger and access to clean water. Juhi Barot, the founder of Leila Foundation Uganda and the daughter to Hashad Barot, Chairman Tirupati Development, appreciated the coordination from Lady Justice Jane Frances Zabodo and Honorable Rose Lily Akelo for providing her opportunity that enabled her to support Karamoja through Karenga Relief Program beyond Kampala.
Our judges and I met in 2015 along with Madame Lusura, Honorable Willie. We distribute food items to judges all over Uganda. For the past 3 months, we were in Karamoja, we went to Karenga, Nabilatuk, and just 2 days ago we were in Moroto. We went along with the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. We went with Honorable Akelo, Her Lady Judge, Madame Jane, and we truly thank the government of Uganda for being so kind to us.
The government is committed to continue supporting non-governmental organizations by providing them a conducive operating environment. Minister for Public Service Muruli Mukasa commends some NGOs for supporting the disabled.
People living with disabilities in Nakaseke district have a reason to smile following a donation livestock by Direct Aid Uganda. The donation was handed over by the Minister for Public Service, Muruli Mukasa. The Minister for Public Service, Muruli Mukasa, commended Direct Aid Uganda for its commitment in caring for the needy in society.
Of making sure that every household has some money and has actually graduated out of poverty. So this is quite in line. So we really appreciate what Director Aid has done and is doing. They have promised that they'll continue with this. In addition, really,
the Nakaseke District Woman Member of Parliament, Sarah Najuma, encouraged the beneficiaries to utilize the donation to fight poverty.
Uganda for their support. I approached them in their offices and they gave us a positive response. And they are helping us in different sectors. In health, they handle medical camps. There is water and sanitation. They give out bursaries. They give out cash to people to start up income generating activities.
On the issue of Ebola outbreak in the country, Najuma appealed to the communities in Nakaseke and the country at large not to politicize the disease but continue complying with the Ministry of Health SOPs to prevent its spread. The official from Direct Aid Uganda, Mustafa Mohammed, pledged to continue supporting the underprivileged families.
Like 20 cow in district, in Nakaseke district, and 135 goats also for need people in this district.
Sudat Kaye and Fred Kasibante, UBC News.
Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, in partnership with Greening Uganda's Urbanization and Industrialization Green Growth Planning and Implementation (GGGI), are to commemorate the World Cities Day on the 15th of November 2022.
In line with the theme, Act Local to Go Global, I'm therefore calling upon the cities of Uganda, particularly the secondary cities, to brand themselves, to give themselves an identity. Just don't be a city. Be a unique city with your own identity. And the city branding is a way of communicating that markets the city in various ways. Give yourself a name so that you're able to communicate that I am. I'm just not a city. I am this in this respect.
The European Union has funded GGGI to help in the implementation of the Green Growth Development Strategy. That strategy is trying to cover 4 areas. One is green urbanization, 2 is green industrialization, 3 is green waste management, and 4 is planning and budgeting towards
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
We can't tolerate sexual harassment.
Sexual harassment is unacceptable in our school.
because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Welcome back. Let's have a look now at some business news. The Parish Development Model Initiative has covered 70% of its objectives in Entebbe municipality. During a workshop to review PDM achievements in the third quarter and discuss the new plans, National Coordinator PDM, Honorable Sozi Galabuzi, said some circles are yet to receive money on their accounts.
These engagement meetings for the parish development model aim at assessing some of the achievements in the last 2 quarters and plan for the next quarter.
At least we have been guided that PDM is for all of us, but the focus for the other revolving fund is for the 39%.
However, the Secretariat emphasized the issue of human resources and working ethics, which is crucial while executing their duties.
In the course of your work, you are not supposed to receive a gift to influence your decision making.
The Secretariat is mandated to guide and follow up with local governments on the implementation of the different aspects of the PDM. During this engagement, the coordinator PDM, Honorable Sozi Galabuzi, said that most circles have already reached 25 million shillings in the last quarter.
We rolled out properly. That was the fourth quarter of last financial year and this first quarter. So we have achieved the targets. And the biggest target this particular quarter is the general meetings of the circles, the guidance by enterprise, and thereafter monitoring and evaluating.
He said they have covered 70% of the intended target and stresses the need to complete the remaining 30%.
Why not all circles have received the money and not all parishes have received the money? There is a particular criteria we gave out there that all circles are supposed to follow. Proof of registration, proof of membership, the proper enterprise group selection, now, and attestation forms by the district officials that they did the right thing. Some of those were not checked.
The 490 billion PDM replaces a Myoga presidential initiative on wealth and job creation, which was rolled out in 2020. However, some groups have not been registered as expected, which has delayed the process. The Secretariat plans to go back in communities and sensitize them on how to use the initiative.
So the other revolving fund is for the 39%.
The State Minister for Finance in charge of investment, Evelyn Anite, has challenged Ugandans to support Uganda's growing automobile initiative. While touring the standard Wave Auto factory that makes late motor vehicle spare parts in Butambala, Minister Anite noted that Uganda has the potential to support its automobile industry. Wave Auto factory is owned by a Ugandan investor, Shafiq Sempija. Susan Naonga reports.
The automobile factory is one of Uganda's fertile sectors expected to bring a high return on investment and also spearhead environmental conservation. Started by Shafiq Sempija, initial a dealer in spare parts at Kiseka Market, Wave Automobile Factory manufactures light parts of all types of vehicles, among which includes vehicle filters. This is one of those few factories dealing in the manufacture of general motor vehicle spare parts, owned by a Ugandan. The spare parts are made at this factory not only feeds into the Ugandan market, but also exported outside the country. However, due to high taxes from Uganda Revenue Authority and delayed clearance at the border, this is becoming a hindrance to the investor. In a guided tour to Wave Automobile Factory in Butambala, State Minister in charge of investment Evelyn Anite commended Ugandan investors for taking lead in embracing domestic investment.
First of all, like I said, I congratulate Safik. This is something new that he's doing in our country. But the issues of the challenges of tax exemption on a finished machine, plant and machinery, that is our government policy. I'm going to have a meeting with URA and with these investors, because this is something new which was not happening in our country before.
She promised to engage URA on issues of taxes and clearance, and further pledged to secure for them a bonded warehouse to enable them store their finished products.
To start a bonded warehouse so that when they bring them in the house and they're using them for manufacturing a final product like the oil filters, if it is complete, it is cheaper than the man who is making it in Uganda.
Ibrahim Lule is the director of small scale at a Wave Automobile Factory.
URA lacks some knowledge. They are not aware of some modern production that are going on. They are used to the previous one recorded in their books, but they have to come up with the current innovations.
Standard Wave Automobile Factory is the first of its kind owned by a Ugandan, producing car filters and other light vehicle spare parts. Susan Naung and Andrew Sebira reporting for EBC TV.
I see a mighty move of the Holy Ghost in Uganda in 2022.
Revival, restoration, reconciliation is here as Uganda celebrates 60 years. This is the year 2022. The revival, restoration, renewal, and a great visitation. You're therefore invited to a great Lord's Visitation Crusade and Fire Conference at Ndejiruboa, NSSF grounds from 30th October to 6th November 2022. The Fire Conference starts at 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. The Great Crusade starts at 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. We have great preachers led by evangelist Randy Roberts, Jennifer Wild, Reverend Dr. Robert Ampere Coffee from Ghana, and many national preachers. Revival is here.
Welcome back, and let's have a look at sports news now, and it's rather very bad news in as far as Ugandan rugby is concerned, and that pertains to the Lady Rugby Queens who have bowed out of the 2023 Rugby Women's World Cup qualifiers after humiliating 23-3 loss to the Kenya Lionesses in the Rugby Africa Women's Cup Pool B final. The Kenya-dominated game had the Lady Rugby Cranes struggle the entire time to take possession, only managing to collect 3 points from a penalty kick. The game was played Tuesday evening at the Mutesa 2 Stadium in Wankulukuku.
Uganda lost to Kenya 23-3 in the final Pool B Rugby Africa Women's Cup qualifier game played Tuesday evening at the Mutesa 2 Stadium in Wankulukuku. The Lady Rugby Cranes struggled for ball possession for 90% of the match as Uganda's ball carriers Peace Sekuru and Faith Namuga were not given room to move past the Kenyan strong defense. Uganda also struggled in moving the ball on the pitch, succumbing to multiple tackles that hindered their chances of scoring points. On the other hand, the strong Kenyan Lionesses Knight Otama and Grace Adiambo showed no mercy, endlessly causing trouble to the Ugandan backline and taking every opportunity to make a point. In the first minutes of the second half, Uganda got a glimmer of hope when Charlotte Mudola earned the side 3 points from a penalty kick, but the Cranes were so far behind to recover.
20-3, I think we beat ourselves. We did not execute our plan as expected, and I think that is why we lost the game. We did not dominate the collusion like we had anticipated before. We got to the game very late, and we're chasing the game from behind. And that is very tough when you're playing someone who is of the same level with you or slightly better than your team. I think they stuck to their territory kicking, and we got punished most of that. They were always in our half, and I think that's their strength. They went to play that game, and then we failed to execute on our strength also.
So whenever we play Uganda, everyone comes with their A game. So we had to come back here to redeem Kenya, having lost the men having lost in the 7th. So we really owed Uganda a win here. So we're happy. We were clinical in our set pieces. We dominated the first play. We kept possession. We played in the right zones.
This loss means Uganda finishes second in Pool B and does not progress to the next round of the 2023 Rugby Women's World Cup qualifiers.
We'll be playing Tier 2 competition next year, and then we'll build up from there coming after next year. Hopefully we can top that and then get back to the top tier.
Grace Joyce Kemgisa, UBC News.
Very sad news then as far as our rugby game is concerned. And that brings us to the end of this edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for having kept us company on sign language. It has been Mogalo Mohammed and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma wishing you a blessed night. But I'll leave you with Molin Kenyen with the weather forecast for tomorrow, and that will be followed at 9 by the Super Soul Sisters and later on at 10 by Behind the Headlines. Good night and see you tomorrow.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. Did you know that a cashless, secure and convenient lifestyle is possible with Airtel Money Pay? Pay for your goods and services in the following simple steps. Dial *185*9#. Enter the merchant ID. Enter the amount. Enter payment reference, for example, school items. Please enter PIN to confirm. You will receive a confirmation message for a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome to the Living Room Stadium. It's the FIFA World Cup. The match is about to start. Food and drink ready. There's no space left for anyone. Come on, get your lucky chair. Take your usual spot. Even the puppy has one. It's preparation time. You can feel the tension in the air. And do you have everything you need to believe?
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800-100-066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.